Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego City Polybag Race Car set. This is set number 30640. It has 44 pieces and I paid $5 for this, sort of. I did buy some of these, I think maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of them at $5, and then much later I got a whole bunch of these for like $1.50. So my effective cost for any random one that I would have opened is less than $5. I'm going to talk about this at the end in relation to both prices, so comparing like, is this worth $5, and then also my feelings on it, having spent $1.50 on it. So I'll get into both of those, but this looks to be a simple poly bag. I like race car stuff, I like some city stuff, and excited to see what's in here. So in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it while I build. I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, while we look at the build for this Lego City Race Car Polybag, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. And now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego City Polybag, the race car. This is so-so. It's not my favorite, and actually I think it's not the best model. It's okay, but I do wonder what the intention here is for this, so I'm not exactly 100% certain on it, but we will get right into it, and we'll look at the minifigure first, because you do get one, which is nice, and this is one that's actually kind of cool. We do have the racing helmet here, which is very basic, pretty normal face printing there, no alternate face, no alternate hairpiece. That would have been nice to get. Really like the torso in there. I think that's really nice, good detail and stuff. No printing on the midsection, no printing on the legs, no printing on the arms. Back of the torso has the same kind of pattern as the front a little bit there, but I think that's pretty unique. I like the kind of like silver, pearl silver stuff throughout here, as well as some of the different colors in there, so that's really nice. Overall, for a polybag minifigure, especially like a city minifigure, this feels good. It feels like a race car driver. It feels pretty nice. I think the extra hairpiece or something could have been nice, but that's fine that it's not in here. Then we get this light, and this is pretty basic. It uses one of those CMF plate tile stands, a big kind of brick panel piece here, a bracket, couple of the red, translucent, yellow, and green for different stop and go and different things on the racetrack. So there's no like function or feature with that to like change them over or anything. Pretty basic, but fine little accessory. And then the rest of the polybag, the rest of the set, is this race car. So I don't like really how this looks, and to me this almost feels more like a toy than other things. And I don't mean toy as in like Lego is a toy company, and this is a toy for someone like me. I mean, like in the minifigure universe, this feels like something that is not a real race car. Now, the thing on here, it does have the light, it does have people in these stands and everything. I don't know. This almost feels to me like a project that a kid and their parent, and maybe they're in scouting or they're in some organization where they do I don't know if they're called soapbox cars, or like they're like, you do like a themed little car and you can do downhill racing and different things like that, or some of them maybe even have small engines in them. This feels kind of more similar to something like that to me. So that's just my initial kind of feelings here. We do start off with this 4 wide chassis, add on the axle kind of plates there. Then we build up a little bit, add some stuff on the back. We have a little bit of a spoiler back here, extend out the front a little bit to almost make it look like it kind of has that F1 sort of nose, and then it is an open wheel vehicle here. But I like how this was done using two of these kind of pieces. I don't know what to call them, but the one that's back here and the one up here are the same piece. We do have steering wheel in the center, no windscreen or anything like that. There is a spot for the minifigure to sit, and then, looking at the back, we have a bracket here. It's not really exhaust, I don't think. It's just sort of something extra there that then extends out to the side of the wheels, which again feels about right. I will pop the character in here so we can see this. And so yeah, it's an open top, open wheel race car here, but I think this makes more sense to me. This is 4 wide rather than 6. I think a lot of vehicles in city are 6 wide, which it's probably not 100% consistent, but I think that would make me feel a little bit more like this is a toy or a project or something homemade, or not something that's actually going to be racing. It almost reminds me of the box set that's like 2 city go-karts. I really liked that set with the 2 go-karts. I liked the colors that were chosen. I liked the couple differences in them. And this feels like kind of similar to that, maybe in half, because that was a box and it did come with 2 go-karts, 2 minifigures and stuff. This one's just kind of one thing, and it's not exactly the same as the go-kart, but it feels that way to me. Something about like the kind of gap here and just using these panels pieces on the side feels very like rudimentary, feels very kind of homemade or cardboardy or wooden sort of to me. I know that it's like different colors, so maybe it's painted or something, but just the scale of it relative to the minifigure, relative to other Lego City sets and vehicles, and then kind of the complexity and the amount of detail here, it feels more to me like this isn't actually something that people would go see at a racetrack, but maybe is more of some event for, or some competition for younger folk, or for like, not professional people who drive for a living. And I think I'm comfortable with that. If this scenario that's depicted on the bag and on the instructions is like this character's daydreaming or imagination or something, if I can't make this work in a Lego City race car thing, that's fine. Or, with any amount of imagination from my end, this can fit right in. Maybe it's like super, super fast, and it's so aerodynamic and so little that it's way quicker and accelerates way faster than some of the other cars that are a little bit bigger. And, I think that's totally valid as a form of play and a form of creativity to sort of make do with what you have in front of you. So if this was on a racetrack and maybe it's sort of like Wacky Racers or kind of like a Mario Kart-esque thing where we all have different style kind of vehicles and different sizes, and we're all kind of competing there, I think then it maybe makes sense. It just feels a little bit basic to me. I understand that it's a polybag, but the build wasn't really anything special. It felt kind of vintage in that way, although there's not a ton of studs visible. And I just didn't like the gap here at the rear and how it overall looks from the side. It feels like very boxy, and I think they got it at a pretty good angle on here because it's sort of leaning. I mean, it's sort of down like, yeah, I don't know. I think they took a photograph at a pretty good angle to kind of capture this, but to me it just feels very square. And it is still a toy. I think people could race these very easily. It would be easy enough to like color swap some of this stuff to make it different, or to make more than one of these, which is all fine. It's just not my absolute favorite Polybag. It's just okay. And I think I've seen some other better Lego City ones personally. I know, like, usually if it's a Lego City thing and it's a vehicle and a minifigure, it gets a little bit dicey on how to keep it in the $5 price range. But even some of, like, the underwater diver Polybag, I think, with the National Geographic co-branding, I thought I liked more than this. And I don't know. This is ultimately okay. I don't know if this is really necessary, really super needed, and I maybe would have rather had some of the part budget or piece budget go into some other stuff here, but maybe some people really, really want something like this, and so it's nice to just have, I guess, a little bit something extra. I'll show the extra pieces. You don't get a ton. You do get an extra of the visor, which is kind of that dark translucent or trans black, trans brown, trans gray, something like that, and then the 3 colors of the translucent tiles used for the lights there. So those are all your extra pieces. This set is 44 pieces, and I either paid $5 for this or $1.50 for it. So for $5, I think the minifigure is pretty good. It's not perfect, but for City, for a Polybag minifigure, I do really, really like the torso. I think I would like, and it would make it a lot better to have a hair or something, like an alternate thing for when they take off their helmet, maybe when they're not in the vehicle. To have on. So I would have liked that. This doesn't add a ton for me, but it could be that it adds play for other people, just to even simulate a starting line and a finish line and everything like that. And then the actual vehicle is so-so. There are wheels in here, tires in here that aren't, very special. No prints, no stickers. So it's all pretty basic stuff. You do get the kind of chassis, starter brick, starter plate type piece in here, the 4x, which is a bigger piece, and that's okay, I guess. But for $5, it's so, and I think compared to, I always am trying to compare it to other Polybags, and compared to like the Creator 3-in-1 I looked at somewhat recently, the bear and the dog and the squirrel. I think I like that one a little bit more, but this one does have a minifigure, can maybe integrate in a city better. Certainly the Speed Champions Polybags are a lot better than this, but those don't come with a minifigure, and they're not really minifig scale, which is fine. Some of the Star Wars Polybags might come with a minifigure, might not. Marvel ones, different things like that, Batman ones. At least those have like some IP attached to it. I don't know. This is kind of borderline for me, but I don't know what I would want them to add to kind of push this over the edge and make it worth $5. Maybe give them the trophy piece, or a little like trophy stand, or a block to stand on afterwards, and maybe do a little bit more with the car here. Try to add a little more detail to it, or just more generally speaking, I think. Then this would be pretty great Polybag for $5. As is, that doesn't feel fantastic to me, but I also wouldn't, knock anybody for paying $5 for this and really, really liking it. You do get, a little toy car. You do get a minifigure and kind of a little side build there. So there's definitely enough to play at the $5 price point, but compared to some of the other Lego Polybags that were on the shelves around the same time as this, I'm not sure if this is the one that I would immediately pick as the most fun to play with or best to have, but that's just me. And then thinking about this in the sale price that I got it at for $1.50, like, yeah, 100%. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You'd be hard-pressed. I would be hard-pressed to find any other Lego set that boxed or otherwise for $1, $1.50, under $2. Anything under $5 is going to be kind of nice. At $1.50, that's probably really good, and I have a feeling even at $1.50, Lego is probably still making a profit at that price. I don't know how much plastic this is what it costs them, but that isn't really the main issue. I just think that was a pretty steep discount, and I'm not sure why these were discounted, and it was only this Polybag. Maybe they just had a ton of them at that particular store, but they all had stickers on them that said $1.50, so I grabbed a whole bunch of them, and yeah, that's a great price to get them at. My effective price across all of these that I bought would be pretty low, just because of that, bringing the average down. But, it's okay at that price, or great at $1.50. At $5, it's a little less great, and I think that's it. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego City sets, more Polybags, and then tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. And if you wanted to support this channel in another way by giving money to the channel, financially supporting the channel, you can do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description. It's on my channel page, patreon.com/sobrick. So maybe consider checking those things out if you are so inclined. It is very, very helpful. It's not needed. It's not necessary. I enjoy doing this for free and just for myself and for anybody else out there, but ultimately for me because I like it. But that other kind of support does really, really help. So thank you very much. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.